pursue him. Akira heads to a dungeon, since Saran told him it's the best place to hide, and it's also the fastest way for him to increase his class level. But he warned Akira that his skill won't keep him hidden from the high-level monsters, since they have enhanced smell and hearing. He mentioned that if Akira can level up his assassination skill, he'll be able to hide his scent, footsteps, and even his body's signature, so the monsters won't be able to find him. He recalls that Saran told him he still has a long way to go, but Saran thinks the struggle will be worth it, since once his class level reaches 100, he'll be able to unlock a special skill. Saran told him to fight the bosses he'll find on every 10th floor, and as he enters his first boss room, he sees a chimera, which immediately attacks him. He dodges its claws, but its tail shoots a poisonous attack, which causes him to fall to the ground. It stabs him with its claws and throws him away, but he knows that he can't avenge Saran if he dies there, so he activates his shadow magic, which tears the monster to shreds. But we see that he's in critical condition, so the shadow magic automatically goes into recovery mode and starts healing him. Meanwhile, Sato thinks they should go to fight the Demon Lord, but the others disagree with him, telling him they're still in shock since Akira killed Saran. He realizes that they're under the princess's curse that Gillis told him about, so he decides to go on his own, but a few other students decide to join him. After they leave the city, Sato wonders why the others joined him, and a girl named Yuki mentions that none of them are under the princess's curse. Another student named Asashi thinks he has something to do with it, revealing that he has a hazy memory of destroying crystals in a mysterious room. We learn that Gillis used his manipulation skill to control Asashi, since it was Saran's final order for him, and Asashi thinks he needs to find Akira. Meanwhile, Akira has a dream about the time he met Asashi while he was working on a job, and Akira asks him to never tell anyone at school about it. He reveals that he doesn't want his sister to find out he's working, and they see a picture of their sisters, realizing they're actually friends. As Akira wakes up, he's surprised to see that his injuries have healed, and he opens up his status, and he realizes that his stats have increased. He's amazed that his shadow magic has also gone up 2 levels, even though he only used it once, thinking it must be the reason why it was easier for him to control it. As he continues moving forward, he runs into a slime, so he cuts it open, but he's surprised to find an elf named Amelia inside it. He tries using a skill called World Eyes to get information about her, but he's overwhelmed by the things he can see, so he quickly cancels the skill and thinks he shouldn't use something that dangerous. She wakes up and tells him she's okay, but he has a hard time believing her, since he knows that her HP is only at 2%. He notices that she also has the World Eyes skill, so when she calls him by his name, he tells her she should have the courtesy to ask him for his name, even though he knows she conceived her inappropriately, so he assures her that he didn't do anything, and tells her to go to sleep. She reveals that even though she's royalty, no one has ever taken such good care of her, and they both go to sleep. After that, they head to the 80th floor, where she helps him defeat monsters, but he doesn't understand why she's following him since she's already recovered. So she mentions that she just happens to be going in the same direction, and he tells her he won't protect her if something happens, but she assures him that she can take care of herself. They enter a boss room, where a dragon immediately attacks them with its fire breath, but they manage to dodge it. He conceals his presence, while she hits the dragon with her gravity magic, but it still manages to hit Akira. She tells him it's tracing his mana, so he should diffuse his magic into the surroundings, but he reveals that he can't do it. He attacks the dragon with his dark magic, and he stabs its eye with his sword, causing it to crash to the ground. He reveals that he used the mana around him to defeat the dragon, and Amelia is amazed that he can do that, but it suddenly starts glowing, and it transforms into a cat, which shocks them, and Amelia mentions that it's still alive, revealing that it has a shapeshifter skill. She notes that a real dragon wouldn't have gone down that easily, which makes Akira wonder if she's using her world eyes, but she wonders why he isn't using it, so he tells her he can't control it. The cat can't believe that it lost to them, and reveals that it transformed into a dragon for fun, but ended up taking it too far. He's surprised that it can speak, and it tells them to stop treating it like a monster that only acts on instincts, revealing that it was created by the Demon Lord to be a highly intelligent creature. It thinks a young boy like Akira doesn't know anything, and he reminds it of the situation it's in, but it doesn't care what they do to it as long as it can deliver the Demon Lord's message. It suddenly stands up, and notes that the Demon Lord is waiting for Akira in his castle, which makes him wonder how the Demon Lord knows him, but the cat notes that it has no idea. It lies on the ground, telling him to end its life, since it has fulfilled its duty, but he refuses to kill it, since he doesn't believe that demons are evil. Amelia notes that if they don't eliminate the cat, the boss room won't open, but he still refuses to kill it since he likes cats. So it asks him if he's willing to starve to death there, but he thinks there must be another way out of the room, and she mentions that they can leave if he makes it his familiar. But it tells them the ritual requires the master to have excellent mana control, which it doesn't think Akira has. But Amelia notes that the attack he used is something only the first hero has accomplished, so she's sure that he can start the ritual, but she isn't sure if he'll succeed. He wonders what will happen if he fails, so the cat tells him both of them may end up dying, but he doesn't care and decides to go through with it. Amelia doesn't understand why he's willing to go to such great lengths instead of just eliminating the cat, but he mentions that he's already made up his mind. It tells him to do whatever he likes, and he's angry that it doesn't care about its life, but the cat mentions that nothing good will come if it continues living. He asks Amelia how to start the ritual, and she tells him to name the cat, so he calls it Yoru. She tells him to pour his mana into it, and she warns him he won't be able to stop once he starts the ritual, but he assures her that he won't die. As he begins pouring his mana, he suddenly finds himself inside Yoru's mind, and he sees it destroying a town. He tries to stop it, but it hits him with an energy beam and tells him to eliminate it, or his soul will perish there. It hits him with its claws, and his real body also starts to bleed, which makes Amelia worry. He throws knives at Yoru, and it thinks he has finally started to fight seriously, so it starts to transform, but he allows himself to get stabbed by its claw. He tells Yoru he won't eliminate it, and he knows that it doesn't want to kill him as well, so it tells him that it's a monster's instinct to hurt other races, but he knows that it's sick and tired of living that way. He tells Yoru he'll look after it, and make sure it doesn't cause such destruction again, which calms it down, and he succeeds in forming a monster pact. As Akira wakes up, he puts a hand on Yoru, which changes the symbol on its body, and Amelia mentions that it means their souls have been linked. It pledges its loyalty to him, and a teleportation circle appears in front of them, so he thinks about moving forward. But he knows that Yoru is still injured, and it notes that the circle won't disappear until they go through it, so they should wait for it to recover. Amelia suggests talking with each other to pass the time, and Yoru agrees with her, since it's a chance for them to get to know each other. Meanwhile, Sato and the others arrive at a town, but they're surprised to see that it looks just like Japan. They put on new clothes and enjoy the food, but Sato notes that they should discuss the situation, and he mentions that the first thing they need to do is find a job. So Nanase thinks they should register in a guild and become adventurers, and Sato agrees with him, telling everyone they also need to gather information about this world. One of them, named Daisuke, wonders if there's a book on how they can get back to their world, and Sato thinks the only way to do it is to defeat the Demon Lord. He notes that the king and princess must know how to send them back, since they were the ones who summoned them, and he thinks they can negotiate with them if they defeat the Demon Lord. He mentions that they should go to the Demon Lord's continent as soon as possible, but Asashi disagrees with his plan, and thinks they should stay there until they meet up with Akira. He thinks that Akira is stronger than all of them, so it would be foolish to challenge the Demon Lord without him, but everyone has different opinions about him. They tell Sato to make the final decision, and he thinks Akira won't team up with them, because even though they've been in the same class since kindergarten, Akira still doesn't recognize him. He knows that only the hero's holy sword can defeat the Demon Lord, which means they need teamwork to pull it off, but Akira won't be interested in it since he's stronger than they are. He thinks they should only work with Akira once they're as strong as him, and he decides to stay there to wait for Akira, but only if the monsters in the area are strong enough to help them train. In the dungeon, Amelia reveals that she had to run away from her hometown, and when they caught up to her, she used her gravity magic to break the cliff and get away from them. She fell into the river and ended up washing up on a shore, where she was swallowed by a dark slime. She saw Akira when she woke up, and she doesn't mind what happened, since it led to her meeting with him, but he tells her she needs to go back and sort things out. He knows that her little sister has a problem with her, so Amelia should talk it up with her, but she thinks it isn't possible. He tells her about the time he bought a new phone for his sister, but she got angry since she didn't want him to work harder just to buy her stuff, so their mother told her it's because he loves her. He tells Amelia that even if they fight with their loved ones, there's still family at the end of the day, and he wishes that he could see his mother and sister, but he refuses to go back until he avenges Saran. A dark energy appears around him, but he manages to snap out of it, and Yoru tells him to control his bloodlust. They mention that they've also heard about Saran, and Akira uses his gloves to play with Yoru to try and lighten the mood. He starts petting Yoru, who tells him to take this situation seriously, because if one of them is eliminated, the other will die as well. But they can communicate with each other no matter how far apart they are, since their souls are already linked. Amelia is jealous hearing this, so Akira notes that there's nothing she can do, since Yoru is his familiar. As they prepare to go through the circle, Amelia notes that she heard rumors that it will take them to wherever one of them wants to go. But she doesn't care where they get teleported to as long as she's with Akira, who wonders if it can also return him to his world, but he dismisses the thought, since it isn't the right time for him to go back. They end up getting teleported to the land of the elves, which shocks Amelia, but there's an elf that shoots at her. So Akira protects her, and he quickly gets close to the elf, threatening to kill him if he doesn't stop. The elf tells her she doesn't have a place there anymore, so she should just run away again, but Akira knocks him out. He notices that they've already been surrounded, and Amelia's sister Rose declares that she will make Amelia pay for the sin that she committed. In a flashback, we see Amelia going on a walk, and she's impressed when she sees Rose training with the knights, where she manages to disarm them, but her attendant reminds her that she's the one who will be their next leader. But her fiancé Liam ends up wanting to call off their engagement. Rose tells Amelia it's because she's a child of Blight, and she ends up being accused of an unforgivable sin. In the present, Akira wonders about what Amelia did, so Rose reveals that she was poisoned by her, but Amelia swears she thought she was giving her a potion. Rose tells Akira to hand Amelia over, and she uses her mesmerize skill to control him. Amelia gets angry, telling her sister to undo her spell, so that Akira can decide what he wants to do for himself, and Rose is surprised seeing Amelia angry at her for the first time, but Akira reveals that he wasn't affected, and Yoru notes that the skill doesn't work on those who are above her level. Rose doesn't believe that Akira is stronger than her, but he tells her to drop Amelia's false charges, because he knows she isn't the type to lie and deceive. Rose orders the other elves to kill Akira, so he prepares to fight, but the king suddenly appears and tells them to stop. Rose is surprised to see him since he's supposed to be away, and he asks her what's going on. All the other elves speak for her, mentioning Amelia's crime, but the king can see that Rose charmed them all with her mesmerized skill, so he tells her to release them from her control. He promises to make things right with Amelia, but he tells Akira to leave, and Amelia mentions that Akira was the one who saved her. He tells her it doesn't matter, because the other races are forbidden to be there, so she decides to leave as well, but he doesn't allow it, since she's the one who will one day take his place. Akira mentions that